Welcome, guys, to another episode of Up and Foiling, your favorite sailing podcast. The first episode of 2026, and we started where we ended up in 2025 with a victory of GBR.
I mean, this weekend has been amazing with good wind conditions and fast boats. Yeah, the 2026 season could not start in a better way.
Artemis, their first weekend together, sailing in a huge fleet, huge conditions, and they delivered. They really delivered.
It was very impressive, I have to say, to see two victories on the first day in their first season. I was happy for them, a little bit less happy for when I think at Red Bull Italy, to be honest. What a dream would be to have something like that for our team, yeah? Also, United States came back from last season where they were lost in the back of the field.
Yeah, they ended third at the first race. So yeah, starting from the 2025 season where they were struggling to reach, let's say, a medium level in the leaderboard. Actually, yeah, finishing
bottom.
third at the first race. Yeah, at the bottom. But it's basically they were at the bottom. Right now they finished third at the first race, and it's been a good weekend for US team. But also, I will say, for France, we have seen a superb France team during the weekend that ended up, finishing in the second place.
Yeah, Quentin Delapierre really loves high-end conditions. I remember a weekend in Saint-Tropez where it was really high wind and top speeds, and they also delivered a very good weekend. So they love it when it's breezy, and I think they love having a boat at the beginning of the season because they weren't so lucky last year. If you remember, they had to wait 2 Grand Prix before having a boat to sail. So much better start. They'll be happy. Not so happy about the final race. What happened?
Unfortunately for France, who was at the top of the weekend stands. Actually, they ended up finishing third in the end, but it was like a photo finish at the last mark. The Australian team was so close to the France team, and both the team were going really fast, right below 70 kilometers per hour, and they finished, I think, like milliseconds away.
Yeah, it was a classic Slingsby move right at the end, passing the French and really gaining 1 point. Will it be important for the next season? Who knows? But a team that lost a lot of points is for sure New Zealand, one of the season favorites. And out at the first race, a mistake from Pete Burling, maybe also the tactician that didn't see it coming. But when the fleet splits up at that bottom gate, there's teams turning right, teams turning left, and you have to expect the boat in front of you to make a turn for one of those marks.
Speaking of having a boat to compete in an event, what you were mentioning before about France, I think no team would be happy to see his boat being total destroyed at the first leg of the first event.
Yeah.
So not even a little bit of fight at maybe at the seventh leg.
They were saying it was like 30 seconds of racing and you're out.
It was really unexpected because usually from Peter Burling you wouldn't expect such a mistake, but it was also very fast condition, so a little bit unpredictable. It was a bit impressive to see the images where Peter Burling almost was diving into the ocean at that speed, but luckily nobody got hurt, just the boat that split in 2 parts, of course.
They lost the left rudder, so it's not a minor break. And of course, as we already discussed in the past, we don't have 2 spare boats like in Formula 1, for example, or in MotoGP. We just have 1 boat, and if we miss that boat, of course, the team cannot participate in the event.
Yeah, and they don't only have 1 boat to repair, but they have 2 because Spain was also out during practice with one of the foils probably breaking and the boat falling, so no longer up and foiling. And they were out for the whole weekend. I wonder how they're gonna manage this with the points wise, because they missed the weekend and it's technically maybe not their fault if it was a technical issue. So maybe that's interesting for another episode specific on this, of how the SailGP should manage these occasions. But that's also because the teams don't own the boat themselves, right? The boats are owned by the SailGP, and they're all the same, and they all have the same tech teams. So who knows? Maybe this will change in the future.
So we haven't seen then indeed the full pack of boat racing together. So the 13 boat together, it was the same number of boats as last year. And it looked, in any case, psychologically, it looked more crowded. I don't know if they were sailing closer to each other. I saw a couple of close passages where 3 boats were going into a turn, and they really had to maneuver tightly. So what do you think about this increasing number of boats in the competition? Will there be an upper limit at some point?
Well, I think definitely yes. In this case, in this first event, I think, I mean, Ricky, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's because of the high wind speed, and so we had these tight maneuvers at fast speed. They were turning and jibing and at like more than 50 kilometers per hour sometimes. So it was really impressive, and definitely what they could do to allow a larger number of boats to compete will be to enlarge the race course.
Means, Ricky, that probably we will also see more penalty points or more penalties in general. And will these penalties then result in championship penalties points or just event penalty points? This is maybe unclear for somebody that starts watching SailGP this season, like me, for example.
Yeah, it's not really clear. Last year it was like, if it's your fault, you get 12 season penalty points. If it's half and half, it's only 8. And if it's you could have done something better, but there was still contact, then it's a -4. But then there's this distinction between season points and weekend points. It's a bit of a weird one. We'll see if they assign New Zealand some penalty points. There's none yet for the season. They were negative on the event, but they couldn't race anyway, so it didn't affect them too much. But we'll see if it also has a repercussion on the season.
That's a definitely interesting topic. Also, taking as an example what Formula One does, that has a point driving license, so to say, for the drivers. When the drivers feel these limit points, or let's say they lose these points, they will have a race ban. Here will be definitely more likely to have actually championship points. But then if we would have a driving license or a sail license, so to say, I would imagine that maybe also the normal penalties would go into it. So when they say, okay, you have to go behind the other boat.
No? I don't think so, because that's like racing. They should be dealt immediately during the race. Otherwise, people will be saying like, oh yeah, I have 2 points on my driving license.
Yeah,
I can take this risk and just be okay with it, and maybe I win the race.
In addition to that,
in addition for us, really, yes. Like we've seen teams qualified from like the start, when they barge in at the start and they're disqualified from the race, and that may also be cause, if it's like dangerous driving, to remove some penalty points from the license. We'll see. Possibly a topic to discuss in a whole separate episode. So that's it up for our race review, and we'll catch you in next videos. Stay up and foiling.
all right.